What up, YouTube? Got a video for you guys today. Just pretty much been on this modification trip, pimping, whatever you want to call it. And basically I got another one to show you today. If you guys know, last video I went ahead and showed you guys the Tenacious that I completely modified there. Shortened her up a little bit by tapering off the edge, making it a modified sheep's foot there. And a little tapering up there. Found something interesting out about the Digicam. USA knife makers, the Digicam they're now carrying is not peel ply, so you're going to have the shiny finish on your Digicam. So if you don't have something like a blast cabinet or a bead or any kind of a bead blasting type of deal, I would kind of stay away from it unless you want this shiny finish on there. Hitting it up with the sandpaper will just gray it up or whatever, and make it kind of just not what I like anyway. I mean, maybe you guys like that finish, but I didn't. So there you go. Just showing you guys again. Little jimping on the bottom. Redid the whole handle there. Blade, of course. Backspacer. Changed the hardware out. Acid treatment on the blade. So that was that's what I did. Finished up the beginning of this week. I think it was Sunday. I'm not exactly sure, but I got that one done. Set her off to the side there. So anyway, guys, actually we'll just get it completely out the screen there. So what I ended up doing, or what I've been doing, is because I haven't really found too many things that really piqued my interest as far as doing knife reviews in the like mid-level knife reviews. I haven't really seen anything. Kershaw's got some cool stuff coming up, but it's going to be towards the end of this year with the Cryo 2 and all the other cool stuff that they've got coming out. So I'm just going to hold off on that unless something I really see comes up. So anyway, guys, what I've been doing is I've just been going through a bunch of my knives that I really like, and just knives that I've seen that pretty much I like them, but I'm thinking to myself, what's the one thing I don't like? Can I change it? Is it feasible to do with the equipment I've got? And I've just picked up a couple different things, and I'm going to show you guys something here. This is a Meyerco Greg Lightfoot Catch Dog. Pretty big knife, 9.5 inches, HCR 13 MOV, and carbon fiber bolsters with micarta scales on this. This is spring assisted. There's some jimping up here. The ergonomics are not too bad. They could be a little bit better. They're a little sharp on the edges here, and the pocket clip is kind of hideous on this guy. 9.5 inches. Also, if you guys are familiar with this, there's a funky swedge design grind on this. I don't know if you can see that, where one side's one side is tapered off more than the other. It's kind of got a recurve tanto with a belly. So, a lot of different things going on with this knife. Not a bad knife, especially for the money. You can get them for like around 25-30 bucks. And it's a large knife. It is spring assisted. Spring assisted is slower than anything because the knife is so big. One thing I do have to say is the blade stock is very thick on this, so it's a pretty hefty darn knife. Pretty cool. Looking at this, I was like, yeah, I could probably make it a lot better, something that more to my liking, something maybe different, and it also gives me an opportunity to kind of get my hands into doing more of this modification of knives and kind of fine-tuning or learning some new stuff. So really good platform to start off on. So enough about that. So we got the Lightfoot there. I have another Lightfoot. Cool thing about this is I actually won this Lightfoot in a giveaway that Alex Dietz had a long time ago, almost a year ago, if not even more than a year ago. Alex Dietz, sub his channel, making knives now, pimping knives, good stuff, man. Good guy to deal with. I can't say enough good stuff about this guy. Just really cool to deal with, and he does really good work. And I won one of these from him in a contest a while ago. It was the older version of it. There's a couple slight differences in it. They were non-assisted, and some of the places where the fasteners or how the scales are mounted onto the actual liner are different. So just little technical differences. So what I went ahead and did is, here you go. We have ourselves some G10. If you order this from knife makers or USA knife makers, they say it's tan and black. It doesn't look tan and black. It's actually gray and black. Very light, almost a blue hue to the gray on here, probably because the black in the background causes it to look that way. So I did a basic pattern on there, kind of Anzo-ish, but I wouldn't really say. I mean, if you've seen the real deal Anzo, it's very distinct triangles up at the peak. So this is kind of, you know, and I'm kind of glad because I wasn't really trying. I've seen enough Anzo patterns out there. I wanted to do something different. So there's the scales there. The hardware, had to change some of the hardware out. This hardware was polished. I have a Scotch-Brite wheel on my grinder, and I pretty much put a brush finish on there as opposed to the shiny finish. And it's kind of due to necessity because some of the hardware I had to use was black, and it wasn't that black oxide, it was just a black finish on top, so I was able to get the black off the hardware, and everything now matches. So on the other side, we have ourselves a G10 pocket clip on here now. As low rider as I can make it. And it actually turned out pretty good. It's nice, thick, and hefty. Very strong. Very strong. I think I am going to taper off the bottom of there because it does go into my pocket. It's just a little stiff, and it could be a combination between the G10 and this pattern. Just being real rough. So I'm either polishing the bottom side of it or taking a hair away from it. So let's just take a look at the main differences here. Okay, blade. First off, as you can see, we have ourselves it's probably a sheep's foot karambit style because of the recurve going there. See if he focuses in. I did take, this knife is 8.5 inches long now, so the whole inch was taken off of this knife. Acid treatment on the blade. Cool thing is, after 5 minutes in the acid treatment, I pulled the blade out. I hit the blade up with Scotch-Brite. So what happens is it lightened up the peaks of the grind and the edges there. It lightened that up. I went ahead and put it right back in the acid treatment there for an additional 6 to 7 minutes, and it made a really cool two-tone type of deal there, where here it's kind of dark, in the valleys it's dark, and it lightens up throughout the blade, where the Scotch-Brite was able to access and hit the blade better. But it gave a really cool effect there. Really happy with the way it turned out there. The grind up top, I mean, you can't even tell that I did anything to this knife whatsoever. I went ahead and was very diligent with the grits on my belt to make sure all the grind lines were taken away. I finalized it by the Scotch-Brite wheel because that's my go-to as far as to get grind lines away, and then finally polished it with the leather belt and some stropping compound to really get the additional stuff on there. Even though I was going to acid treat it anyway, I figured let me smooth it out as much as possible, that way I don't have to worry about the acid bringing out any grooves that I may have missed. So anyway, enough about the blade. The handle has been modified quite a bit. Over here, one of the things that the Lightfoot's characteristics were is the blade, the way it was cut, it sinks the jimping at the very top, as you can see right there. The way it's angled, it dives beneath the scale. So this jimping is almost rendered useless once it's open. Unless you squeeze the crap out of it, you can feel the jimping a little bit. What I went ahead is I tapered down the scale, or I tapered down the liners, the whole knife right here. Now this jimping is completely accessible with your thumb. Only had jimping in 2 spots here, or actually 1 spot. Right here, I continued the jimping on way back here. Made sense. Put your thumb right there. Now you could actually feel the jimping. Also, the back. I had to take you take off from the blade, you have to take off from the back there. This was tapered down quite a bit, all the way around. I did do the back spacer on this one. Put a beefier standoff there. Regulation standoff there, just because the hardware for the pocket clip or for the back had to be small in order for me to get this pocket clip to work. So, there you go. Underside. This choil area here was tapered back just a hair. I had to, because I wanted to taper this area back more. So it would have looked kind of funny if I tapered this more and left this how it was, because it just looked funny to me and it felt funny to me. It just didn't feel as comfortable as I thought it could be. So this has been sanded back also to create more of an arch, to really, definitely improve the ergonomics in your purchase, to get a good grip on this guy there. And that's my main thing when I do the handles. It's not about aesthetics or what it looks like or how the knife looks like closed or whatever. It's about how it feels in your hand ultimately, because you can make something pretty and it feels like crap. You're not going to want to use it. It's just going to be something that sits around. So also on the bottom, as you can see, I've added jimping all the way across the bottom there. And all this jimping here, you may think it may feel sharp to you, but what happens is I go ahead and there again with the Scotch-Brite wheel, soften up all the edges really nice, and I go over and over until it's nice and soft. And basically where it's like you run your finger across, you can just barely feel the jimping whatsoever, but when you get a good purchase, it just holds your hand in there. This knife now, if you grab it from back here, it works. You got your initial choil for your finger here. These three fingers rest in here. For some of your bigger guys, your pinky may fall off the back, but my hand fits in there nicely. As you can see, thumb fits there nicely. Go up to this other choil here. Now your hand's moved up. This finger fits there. Two fingers easily fit in this back area here, and you just really get a good purchase on it. Back here, no problem. Reverse grip, even better. I mean, you know, I could choke it up here. This feels nice. Got a nice area where my thumb sits and saddles up right there. I can move back where my pinky's now in that secondary, and I can just sit there. I curl my thumb around the back. I can sit there and really get at it. This pocket clip, even though it's big, it's tapered like crazy. I don't know if you can see that. It's tapered like crazy, so when you have your hand on it, it actually kind of melts into the groove there. So it's not that bad at all. No hot spots whatsoever. It's a little, you do notice it, but it seems to fall in right here in your hand. So when you squeeze it, let me see how you got a little, that pocket clip rests right there. Kind of hard to explain. You'd have to hold the knife. Alright. Sorry about the long video. I really want to show you everything that's going on with this. As far as centering on the knife goes, dead on. Look how thick that blade stock is. This thing is a beast. It weighs a bunch. The liner's not skeletonized at all, so it's got some weight to it. I believe the width of the stock, blade stock here, give me a second guys, I really want to show you this. We're going to let's go to millimeters. 0.41 thick. 0.44, which is, it's just under a quarter of an inch. So you've got really thick beefy blade stock. Like I said, nice and centered. Lock up. It's right there. Could it be earlier? Yeah, but this is pretty much where you get lockup on any knife for the majority. The majority of knives out there, lockup's usually just right about there when you get it new. As far as deployment goes, it's got a little weight to it, but it flips open, no problem. I do add a little bit of wrist flick. She's a little stiff still, but not bad at all. I imagine it to break in. But when I had this knife, before this knife was modified, I did have to add a wrist flick. You can almost, because the weight of the blade is so much, just a little jerk down like that, and she flips right out. I mean, really nice knife. I'm really impressed with it. Really happy with it. Took, like I said, guys, she started life looking like this. Not a bad knife, you know. Just wasn't a couple things I wish could have been done better. Ended up with this. So, let me know what you guys think. Sorry about the lengthy video there. I just really wanted to go over this. I'm just doing these, just tightening up and kind of getting used to different techniques as far as doing scales and blades and grinding and stuff like that in the downtime while I'm waiting for cool knives to come out for to review for you guys or whatever. So that's pretty much it there. I still have a cut test video to do and stuff like that, but I'm just waiting to get all my ducks in a row and make sure it's really cool. So anyway, guys, I appreciate all your support. Please chime in. Let me know what you think. I don't think I'm going to be doing pimp jobs for money, or I hate to call them pimp jobs, because I modify the crap out of these knives. I mean, there's not, you know, there's a lot of grinding involved and all kinds of stuff. It's a little bit more extensive than just your regular pimp job there, so I kind of changed things up. But anyway, let me know what you think. I appreciate any of your input. Any advice on techniques and stuff, dude, you know, whatever, that would be really cool. I'm thinking about playing around with some patterns and stuff like that I've come up with on my own that I haven't seen yet. Probably have been done before, but no video has been posted on it, or I haven't seen the video. But yeah, playing around with something like that, just to kind of mess around and get handy with this stuff. So anyway, guys, I apologize again for the length of the video. I just had a lot to show you guys. I appreciate all your support again as usual. You guys take it easy. Peace.